witches, and welcome to another witchcraft video. I have not posted a new, fresh, and fun one in a while, so I really hope this will ease us back into it, as this morning I noticed I was stirring my coffee with my little crystal spellcasting spoon. I was like, you know, girlfriend, you haven't practiced magic in a bit, and open a book. We are pulling an activity from this book. It is called Auras, a Personal Guide, and it is by Joylena Goodings. Now, this book has all different types of like activities and exercises and configurations on how to express your aura, how to read aura, how to understand it. Totally been reading this whole entire book. I'm like midway through the book, but we're gonna go into the beginning of the book on page 30, where there is an exercise, which I believe it to be the absolute first exercise in aura findings. I did do another video on this book where I tried to find my aura color, totally blind. That I will link somewhere up here, or of course in the description. For now, we are going to be trying to figure out what our predominant sense is. And this kind of goes hand in hand with figuring out how you kind of catch a vibe, for lack of better terms. Let's discover which is your predominant sense. Once you have figured that out, we will go on to specific exercises that will develop all of your senses. Write down your answers to the following questions. So every time I do kind of written spells, I personally think it's important to have them all in one book. Some people call this a book of shadows, some people just call it a little spell book, some people just journal, some people just scrapbook. Whatever is comfortable for you to say and do it, but I just have this book that looks very hocus pocus. What did you have for breakfast? So I'm gonna write this down. Eggs with cheese. So I had eggs with cheese and tomatoes and a hash brown. What was your favorite holiday? Halloween. What part of the world would you like to visit? That's a great question. Mine changes every month. So kind of right now what's going on in my brain, I'm like literally like, where do I want to go right now? It's 103 degrees out, so I'm like not really thinking of anywhere hot or nice or lovely. But I'm sick of being on planes. Like super specific. Just, it doesn't have to be so specific, but where do I want to go right now? Where do I want to visit? Part of the world. Okay, when they say world, I think of global. Okay. I'm just thinking of like Europe as a whole. Just Europe, Italy, France. Okay. What will your next home be like? Oh my. A lovely Victorian home that I restored myself with a sage green kitchen and a white and gold bathroom. Very crispy, very clean. Yeah, bro, I want to live in a Victorian house. Oh, that was my last question. Okay. How did you receive the answers to the questions? Did the answers come as pictures, thoughts, feelings, smells, a voice in your mind? Ooh, interesting. First and foremost, I pictured everything. I pictured the plate that I had for breakfast this morning. When they asked my favorite holiday, immediately in my head was orange and black. And it just straight up went to Halloween, and I just saw like pumpkins and fall leaves and that like autumn cozy feeling. I got like that, like that nice nostalgic feeling kind of ran over me, and it was triggered by the photos in my mind. When we were just talking about what part of the world would you like to visit, you watched, I guess in real time, me stand here and be like, well, it's kind of hot out, so I don't want to go to a beach. I don't want to go to a tropical island. In my brain, I was thinking more locally, like road trippy, because I've been very into road trips lately, because I've been sick of planes, because I've been traveling quite some time in the past, I would say 6 months. So I was thinking of like driving things. And then immediately I realized when it said world, America is not the world. So I thought Europe, Italy, and I just kind of started seeing like the romantical hanging clothes on a drying rack, clothesline, little cobblestone streets, and I pictured the food, what food I want to eat. I didn't taste any of the food, but I saw the food. What will your next home be? For that, I specifically just saw this big, gaping Victorian black mansion. And this has been a picture that I've been saving on my Pinterest for probably 15 years. Just always see when I imagine. It was kind of like the Sabrina Spellman house. I just pictured like this grand, massive, amazing, like creepy and eerie place. And I just started picturing like all the rooms and all the things, and I guess in a way it was sort of like a feeling. I didn't think, oh, I want my home to be like loving and lovely and nice. And it was more like, oh, I would love it to look like this because this would invoke a feeling in me. Okay, let's figure, it seems pictures. It seems that I was seeing. So the next part of this activity, if you received images in your mind and wrote seeing words, then your predominant sense is your eyes and seeing. I would say that that was totally and predominantly what happened to me. But for you guys, if you heard a voice in your mind and used hearing words, then your predominant sense is hearing. So if you sat here and instead of picturing things like Christmas, you said in your head, Christmas tree, Yule log, lights, Jesus, like whatever you said in your head. If you sensed and felt things and used emotional words, then your predominant sense is feeling. Now that's very interesting because I think mine might have been the two of them, but it was very obvious that pictures totally overpowered feeling. The feeling, I had to like stand here, as you saw, be like, house, what do I want in my house? And just like my mind was kind of running with things that I wanted to pull and keep. If you thought things and wrote thinking words, your predominant sense is your mind. I'm not smart enough for it to be my mind. Though thinking is not part of the traditional five senses, it is an important way in which we experience and understand the world. So we will consider it a sense for our purposes. In conclusion, my predominant sense is very obviously seeing. Since now I know I am a seer of all things, we can move on to next activities in like next segments of this series of videos that I'm going to be doing. I have a lot of activities in this book and I would love to totally deep dive with you guys. Please be subscribed for part 2 if you want the next activity, which is exercises for developing your senses. You could click up here somewhere, anywhere on my page, and click my witchery playlist, and you could binge watch some of those videos to see what other spells that we've done, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!